So, a lot of people want to know, I'm pretty sure, but too, afraid to ask, what happened to me when I was telling you guys that someone broke up in my house, when I was telling you guys that there was a lot of different issues going on between me and my neighbors. I posted it on Facebook, and at that time I meant what I posted. What happened was I felt them I don't know how to describe it. I was sleeping with the son. As I was sleeping with him, he know who he is. As I was sleeping with him, his face changed in the bed. I didn't know at that time it was a discerning spirit, because I ain't never been through nothing like that in my life. It's like the devil's advocate. It's when the devil's advocate, crazy as it sounds, was actually my favorite movie before I got saved. And a bunch of horror flicks. Like, I enjoyed that, not knowing that I will hear them in the church say, inviting spirits in the house, but if you ain't never encountered a spirit, or if you became comfortable with the spirit, you wouldn't know what kind of spirit it is. Come to find out, I had got too comfortable with my devils. So I started feeling vibes like they were spying on me. I started seeing signals from the sun as he was across the yard. I started seeing him trying to signal to let me know that people was watching me. But at that time, I didn't let him know that I knew that's what he was doing. But I thought it was him. So because we slept together and I wasn't really doing nothing that he wasn't unaware of, I didn't care, at that time. Until I started hearing voices all of a sudden, and it was the same voices of the neighbors. Witchcraft, they know how to send tormenting spirits. They'll listen to you tell your whole story, and they use your story against you to get to you. So because they cannot get caught, because this is a warfare that's happening in the spiritual, and it really is real. My third eye opened somehow by accident, but I'm going to tell you, before it did, God gave me a discerning spirit. That's how I was able to see his face change, to tell he was demonic. If you are sincere to really change your mind, you'll actually see it. We need to really learn how to dissect the Bible and not just go with just the surface level of knowing but not caring. That lets you know how much I have the capacity to deal with BS from people. Excuse my lack of French, but when I needed people to be there for me, I was told I was crazy. My neighbors spreaded a lie, said I was schizophrenic. I had to go. The son started guiding me through. He was acting like my angel of light. But what happened was they was using the trust that I have for him against me to keep trying to come at me. Witchcraft is demonic, no matter how you look at it. And a lot of time we invite that stuff and don't even know what we doing. We doing stuff based on what ancestors said. We doing stuff on what the church say or what traditionals say. And we go by that. But do we actually go into detail and do some research and see what's happening behind the scenes? I took a year off of TV and radio and everything. I took a whole year off. And all I did was dissected the Bible and realized that what was going on to me was a sign of spiritual warfare that I knew nothing about. I knew that we can go into spiritual warfare, but I'm thinking, okay, how I'm used to seeing spiritual warfare is if go to church and ask somebody to pray for me, they'll go into spiritual warfare for me. Not knowing that spiritual warfare is also a demonic sign spiritually that you need to be delivered from. A lot of people not gonna like what I say, but I'm not here to be a people pleaser. And if you call me a lie, then you will be considered a liar yourself. Because I am telling the truth. I am telling you what happened to me. Go back to my Facebook page from a year ago and now come back to it where I'm at now. Look at the maturity from just being in spiritual warfare for a year and a half, just about. A lot of people wasn't there for me that I expected to be there for me. But as soon as something happened, everybody's looking for Aisha. I was being treated like a slave and thought I was free. Because I will be in a bubble. I'm the most kind-hearted person anyone can know. The shoes I got on my feet now, I will gladly take it off and walk barefooted so somebody else can have them shoes. When I'm in the grocery store and I have money, I bless people unknowingly and knowingly. Whenever anything happen, and I'm not saying that because I don't need y'all accolades. I ain't here for that. I'm here to set up a foundation to let you know that through it all, my heart is still pure. I love and forgive these people despite the attacks and despite the malicious lies they told on me. They had the police coming up in my house trying to get me to lose my kids. Called DSS on me. The lady closed the case the next day. She said, ain't nothing wrong with you. But nobody showed up to Aisha's rescue when I put it up on Facebook. When I didn't have the money to get the cameras and I asked for help, no one came through for me. But if anybody needed anything, and I'm still the same way today, I'll make sure you got it. Because I ain't doing none of this for the attention of none of y'all. I'm hurt by that mess. I'm hurt that I had 5,000 friends and none of my family stepped up. They just talked about me like I had lost my mind. So I went and got mental health assessment so everybody could see that I wasn't schizophrenic. The woman said I have some it's some type of post-traumatic sex like PTSD, but it's not. I think she called it TSD or something like that. Because I went through a lot as a child. My entire life has been nothing but rejection. So I got used to it and paid nobody no attention. I just kept my vibe up. I kept my heart clean, but I still was having sex. Then one of my friends turned me on to an ecstasy pill. I got hooked on the energy of it. So I actually allowed the demons in. A lot of times we play dumb, and a lot of times we really just don't know. Lack of knowledge These spirits are real. And they not here to protect and guide us like we want to feel. They are here to take us out. This is Lucifer's army in the spiritual realm. Every now and again, you'll know when it's from the holy God versus the unholy God. It's a lot going on behind the scenes in the spiritual realm. The new technology they're using, look at AL or A1 or whatever it's called. Do some research. Research the Bible. People don't tell you, you know that when you're talking to your ancestors, you're talking to the dead, but God told us, the Holy God told us to talk to the living. Nowhere in the Bible did he instruct us to talk to our ancestors. He said, do not make an image of him. Why is Catholics walking around with him still on the cross if he got off the cross? Why is we going to Catholic church, lighting up candles and praying to an image when he say, do not make no image of me? He is the God that cannot be seen because he works by faith alone where the devil has to be seen. I'm telling my story and I'm getting it out. And it may not all come out at one time because I've been through some serious war. But I'm free. And I'm going to continue to be free and get free. And be free and get free. We don't think this stuff is real. I was put up under aquamarine spirits, voodoo, all types of different stuff. They were blocking the sun, all kinds of stuff. Look this stuff up if you do not believe me. And I had an orphan spirit. I got delivered from that. Look it up. Do some serious work on the chakras. I have a lot of people that's going to criticize. But I can only go off of what I've been through. You grown. You live your life. You do what you feel you got to do for you. But I'm going to do what I feel like I got to do for me to free me. We out here doing the works of the devil because he makes everything easy access. God told us in his word, which road do you choose, the wide road or the narrow road? The wide road is easy access. The narrow road, you're on it, but there is such a peace that you cannot understand that comes with that. These people were spying on me and I didn't know it. But I started feeling the vibes. I confronted the mom about what was happening. The mom tried to defend what was happening because she knew that I didn't know what had happened to me. She didn't know that I knew that they were accessing my information and they can see me. She didn't know that I knew all of that. And they, behind the scenes, are good hackers because they can ascend into you and see what you're doing and you not even know that that's what had happened. Or they can sit beside you, and because you cannot see in the spiritual world, you really don't see everything that's happening. So I started hearing them in my head, their voices, their exact voices in my head. And then I started, after one encounter, now I done been in arguments with people before. I ain't never had nobody voice get stuck in my head but my own. Now these are other people's voices I'm hearing. Their voices now. So I started it started sounding like they were starting to mess with my kids, because now all of a sudden they're making sexual remarks towards my kids. But I can hear that in my head. They wanted me to think that I was crazy because I caught them, and I guess they knew eventually I was going to catch on, and they expected me to stop. And what I did was I did not. I kept going and kept going, kept having these conversations in my head. Clairvoyance, telepathic communications, all that is real. But mine's got open by accident and for lack of knowledge. These people really insulted me, belittled my character, told people I was crazy. And I was just this lady that stayed in her house. I would go out every now and again, play my music, watch movies, take care of my children. Everybody know I do a lot of things with my kids. So DSS was called out. She left it alone. She was like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. I don't know why they did that. The police asked me what medicine was I taking. Never took any medicine at all. I took vitamins. And if y'all want to know, I take prenatal vitamins still. Yes, I do, because it nourishes my body the way I want it to. I need the folic acid. We all do. So I take that because it got all the stuff in it. And I take B12 because that got all the stuff in it. That's all I take. So when I confronted her, she called me a crackhead. So here I go now being mad. I go to Walgreens and I got me a kit, because I couldn't understand why they was calling me a crackhead. And I thought that they must have thought because I had gotten sick, I had lost some weight. They thought I was a crackhead. So I went to Walgreens, bought a test, peed in it, and put it on her front door. Because she disrespected me and called me a crackhead. And I wanted her to see that I wasn't. They had no reason. I would talk just as pleasant as this to try to talk to them, and all of a sudden they raise their voices. When they're in front of the camera, they act one way. These the people that got about 6 daggone cameras on their house. What you hiding with 6 cameras? I had no cameras. They broke up in my house and I knew it. Because they subliminally told me. So the truth of the matter is that all this was going on, but I didn't understand what was happening. I thought they had cameras and mics in my house. And they probably did. But the house they had access to still probably do. It's still next door to them. They ain't moved. I had somebody trying to tell me good, and I had voices trying to tell me bad. I stayed with the good. At this time, I started looking at numbers. It started when my cousin said, oh, Aisha, it's 11:11. Have a great night. And something in me said 11:11. Let me look that up. I looked up 11:11 and it started talking to me on a level that made me feel like, okay, well, God working numbers. The Bible is real. You know what I'm saying? God working numbers. So let me see where this go. Not knowing that me looking at numbers is tarot card reading. Just the technology part of it. Not using an actual card. Looking up numbers is really tarot reading. This stuff is true. So here I am reading tarot cards. God didn't instruct us to, the Holy One didn't instruct us to read tarot cards. He said to stay, all the answers we need is coming from the Holy Bible. It's something my grandma did to me and installed in me that I didn't know about. She installed a love in me that was missing in me from the start. She was my best friend. And I know a lot of people gonna be mad, but I mean that. She was my best friend because she was the only one that knew how to break me down with love. Everybody else love I rejected because I didn't love myself. But this woman saw something in me and she kept me focused on the Bible. Her last words to me was, be good. And ever since then, I've stayed on the right track. I'm telling you, I've changed 360. And I love it about me. I love the new me tremendously. Everything went back to the word. When everything started happening to me, it took me back to the Holy Bible. Why is it that we can say other religions' names? Why is it that we get persecuted for saying the name Jesus? He did say we'll face persecution. But ask yourself, why did America take the Bibles out to school? Why did they take prayers out to school? Ask yourself that. That brought in, I believe, another type of witchcraft. Dealing with these numbers, I was getting ready to go in symmetric geometry and didn't know it. And if you look up symmetric geometry, it takes you to the Masonic temple and what they do and how they worship the all-seeing eye. Look at the image of the all-seeing eye. The image of the all-seeing eye. Oh, they trying to distract me right now, but in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. I'm going to tell my story. I'll let you know about that on another topic. This is my open diary, by the way. I'm going to be real and I'm going to be honest. And if you don't believe me, that's your problem. This is the truth of what happened to Aisha, what happened to me. So they sat here and they did a whole bunch of stuff to me. And that made it look like I was messing with them. Made it look like I was doing these things to them. But witchcraft cannot be proven unless you have other people that know these people that faced some type of problem like what I faced. Sometimes it could feel like somebody choked you and you don't even know who, because you feel it in the spirit. Sometimes you feel something in your stomach. You don't know what's going on. I had bedroom demons. I had demons that were sleeping with me because you can feel it. Bedrooms demons, look them up. Look up the orphan spirit. Look up aquamarine spirits. Look up all those different spirits. I'm going to stop this video here because this is my beginning part of telling my story. Just know that they put witchcraft on me over jealousy. And I couldn't understand why they were jealous of me. And because I cannot prove witchcraft, they feel like they can get away with doing these things to me. People can say what they want to say. The truth only stands one time. A lie, you gotta tell a lie. You gotta tell another lie. You gotta keep telling a lie. But because they can ascend into the spiritual realm, they can get information quicker. So they always think they're a step ahead of you. Like, for instance, trying to use this video against me to make it look like I'm doing something to them. No, I am under witchcraft and I am under voodoo. And I don't care what anybody says. Everybody know my heart. Everybody know my heart is good. Everybody know all I do is love people. Come to my job. I got the highest customer reviews. We will continue this on another day. Right now, it's time for me to get my manicure and pedicure done. Because how you defeat these specific demons is you push through the BS to make it through your mess.